Listen up, football fans. This is the last weekend of the year to get your football bets in, and my partners over at DraftKings are bringing something very special to the table. DraftKings is giving all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly when they place a $5 bet on anything. Download the DraftKings app right now. Sign up using my promo code Sonnen. That's right, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. You can combine multiple bets together from Super Bowl 58 for a shot at an even bigger payout. If you're already a customer at DraftKings, you can place a bet on Super Bowl 58 and get a bonus bet back in the amount of your initial wager. Max reward varies. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. So click on the link below. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Sign up using the promo code Sonnen. Did you guys catch Strickland and Sneeko? So, when I was growing up, I was at a wrestling club and it was hard, man. I mean, it was the best of the best. Roy Pittman was running the room. Hall of Fame. We had an Olympian or an Olympic alternate on every single team. You got to understand, I'm 9 years old. So I am in the same room as a 9-year-old. The same room at the same practice as Olympians. That's how our room was. Portland State was right down. The whole team came every single day. They won 2 national championships in a row. We had the #1 college team in America in our room every day. This was normal. I was 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old as I'm coming up. And there's a number of things that will keep you in wrestling. Number of things that you can build a program. You can build a dynasty off of. Wrestling is not one of them. There is nothing that keeps a young man, young athlete, coming back day after day, gruelingly difficult workouts, no money, no fame, no hope of money, no hope of fame. And none of those things are the sport. The sport is awful. It's camaraderie. It's relationships. It's a commitment. It's a team. It's buying in. They're going to give to you, and your time's going to come around. You're going to give to them. You go back and forth. Older guys, there are very few things cooler in life for a young man than a little bit older man. So we would all play, and we'd have a great time. And like I was saying, we got Olympians in there, man. We got some real people to look up to. We had the national championship team. Our coach would insist that the older guys look after the younger guys. He knew how important it was. He would insist, do not ever let me see you. Do not ever let me see one of your young teammates come up and ask you for anything. Doesn't matter if it's for help, if it's for a technique, if it's where the water fountain is. Don't ever let me see a younger athlete come ask you something and you aren't there for him. It was instilled in our club, but there was one guy, his name was Hyde Brown. Coach Roy Pittman said, do not play with Hyde. He would tell us that all the time. Now, Hyde was not a bully. What's the difference? Hyde could beat you up. Yeah, sure he would. But what's the difference? Well, the difference is if you're 12 years old, Hyde will beat you up. But if you're 25 years old, he'll beat you up. If you're the Olympian that I'm speaking about, Hyde will beat you up. He only knew, he wasn't a bully. He was rough. Hyde was rough. He didn't know how strong he was. He won 2 national championships. He didn't understand how good he was. He was one of these things. And Coach Pittman would always say, don't play with Hyde. And it was a very meaningful lesson in life for me because I met a couple of guys like that, and only a couple. My whole life, only a couple. But Sean Strickland is one of those guys. Don't play with Sean. And Sean has not changed. It's one thing about him. That same old beat-up car and that same simple lifestyle, but he really hasn't changed with the money and the fame and the attention. He is the same guy, but the expectations of him have changed, and the way that people treat him has changed. And when you start to get more money, more success, whatever it might be, you start all of a sudden, you got this new crowd around you. All of a sudden, you get these famous guys, influencers, whatever it might be. They're all scumbags. There's only scumbags in the fight business. It is the lowest form of society. Think about that. Of legalized sanctioned society, you got booze, you got tobacco, you got prostitution in some states, and you have fighting. I'm just sharing with you that as you work your way up like Sean did, you don't get exposed to a better quality person. You get exposed to a higher level of scumbag. It's going to be that same leech, except the leech is wearing a three-piece suit. And if you really keep making it, it's going to be a leech, and he's going to pick up the dinner at the end of the night. And if you're really making it, he's going to take you to that dinner and a chauffeured ride, and it's going to be a fancy meal. It's the same scumbag, and he's coming after something. And I only share this with you. Don't play with Sean. So Sean's in this situation. This guy wants to fight him. This guy tells him, I want to fight him. And Sean says, no, I'm not going to fight you. And Sean says, if we fight, I'm going to beat you up. But Sean's not a bully any more than Hyde was. Sean will beat up anybody that challenges him and comes into the ring and actually comes after him. He only has one mode. I have trained with Sean. I have the same coaches that trained me train Sean. And they did not train us to do it gently. That's true. There is no reduction. There is no gentle. There's no gentle mode. There's no soft mode. There's no slow mode. So what do you do in that situation? Don't play with Sean. That's what you do. Don't play with Sean. Now, I don't love these kinds of things. I wish that it wouldn't happen. I don't know that Sneeko dude, and I'm not sure it's even the guy that I'm thinking of. Dana had to bounce a guy from Colby versus Leon card. He had to bounce him because the guy was going to attack. Verbally or physically, but he was going to somehow attack or assault Donald Trump. It was weird. And so Dana bounced him. I think it's that guy. If that's not the guy, I don't really want to put that on him, but I think it is. Sneeko, sneaky. But Sneeko or sneaky, you know, when he tells Sean, I want to fight you and go hard and all of these things, he's still expecting something. He's still expecting that Sean will carry him. And that's just the part that he had wrong. It's not a knock on Sean. It's not a knock on anybody. And I don't want Sneeko to have his feelings hurt. They clearly were. Not only was his body hurt, his feelings were hurt. And you know, I hope that Sneeko has some level of pride in what he did. It's a really foolish thing that he set out to do, but in that market, in that operational field of foolish things to do, he passed some real tests. I hope that means something because I know it wasn't just his face that was hurting. I know his feelings were damaged. But what I don't know that Sneeko knows is Sean doesn't know how to do that another way. There's not another way. There's no fight, hey, be nice to this guy. Hey, carry this guy. There's nothing like that. It's put on bigger gloves. An opponent put on more protection because the speed is the same. I'm just bringing that to your attention. I don't like those types of things. But did you guys see the referee at the end? I was so impressed. I was talking to Jesse about this, Jesse on Fire. And I said, hey, man, not for nothing, but that referee deserves a lot of credit. There's a lot of liability that he took on, but somebody needed to be in there. Bell wasn't going to do it. We saw Vital wasn't going to do it. And them cornermen damn sure weren't going to step in there and do it. We needed somebody to be in charge. Jesse said, Chael, you're seeing that all wrong. That's not a referee. He said, look again, that's Forrest Griffin. Forrest Griffin is in charge of that facility. Forrest did not come over to break up whatever sparring this was where they had their video. He said he came in and get the hell out of here. We're not doing that here. Pretty cool move by Forrest. If that interpretation is accurate, I mean, I got to give a shout out to Forrest. But above everything else, before you get mad at Sean or before you think it's cool what Sean did, none of that's the message here. Don't play with Sean.